Hi, and welcome back to episode 7 of this vlog about growing a tiny tropical garden in the south of the UK. Over the past couple of weeks, we've had scorching sunshine, torrential rain, and over 50-mile-an-hour winds. Let me show you how this tiny tropical garden copes with everything the British weather could throw at it. With the heavy rain and winds forecast, I decided to harvest some seeds before things got too wet and soggy. I started with this blue fescue grass. The seed heads have turned a lovely golden colour and were ready for me to cut off and store. I'll sow these soon and will grow as many new plants as possible, so if you're interested in having any, comment below and let me know. My foxglove seed heads had started to open, so I cut off the old flower spike of this as well, and began harvesting these seeds. It's really simple to do. Just tap the seed heads into a container and hundreds of tiny little seeds drop out. Right on cue, the skies opened and the rain came down. It kept raining and raining and raining some more. It was great as we haven't had rain for around 10 weeks, so the tropical and exotic plants really needed a good drink. But then came the wind. I had tied everything tall into a bamboo cane, but all I could do was look out on the garden, pray for the best. Fortunately, all we lost were some leaves and flowers. All of the plants remained mostly intact and actually looked quite a bit better after having a good drink. The young fescue banana that was behind the old foxglove grew away so quickly now that it has more light and plenty of water. And the fatsia next to that is putting out lots of big, glossy, tropical looking leaves. Our canna decided to open its flowers in the middle of the storm, so some of the petals look a bit scruffy. But I love how the hot orange flowers contrast against these huge deep purple leaves. I planted one on each side of the path to add cohesion between the two beds, but it also frames the path that leads down to the back gate. I am really pleased with how this looks, and the cannas seem really happy in these new spots as they are putting up lots of new shoots from the underground tubers. You might remember the colourful display our succulents put on at the top of the stream earlier in the year. That has faded now, and it's time to tidy up the dead heads. I just cut each flower stem back to the first set of leaves. This tidied up this sun-baked rockery area at the top of our tiny tropical stream. The water in the shallow pebble stream and the small pond in our garden has been quickly turning brown, and I wanted to use a natural solution to keep the water clear. After a bit of online research, I found that barley straw is a good natural remedy for cloudy pond water. I popped into the local garden centre and bought myself a pre-packaged barley straw parcel and put it into the pond where there was a good amount of moving water. I also ordered some floating pond plants to help cover the surface of the pool and shield it from the sun a little bit more. 2 weeks later, and the water is looking so much more like a tropical oasis than a muddy puddle. The leaves on this Colocasia esculenta just keep getting bigger. This one opened up during the storm, so it got a little bit torn up, but it's still pretty impressive. Behind these small Coleus plants, I've planted a Paulonia or foxglove tree. This stem should grow taller than me by October, with a display of huge green leaves. Now, I've put this one into the ground, but I'd be keen to hear in the comments if you've had any success growing these in pots. I've also finally potted on this variegated fatsia that was a bargain from the garden centre TLC section. Now this spot just beneath the deck is quite shady and damp, but I wanted to add some plants. First, I divided my Alchemilla mollis and planted some of that, but I also found a fern in a friend's garden who thinks they're weeds. One man's rubbish is another man's gold. I'll keep watering these, and I'll probably add hostas and moss next year, but any other suggestions for this shady damp spot would be much appreciated. This early flowering clematis that I took out of the pot and planted into the ground has started to put on a second show of large tropical looking flowers. And the marigolds are opening one by one across the tiny tropical garden, which is making the whole space irresistible to bees at the moment. By the time I upload the next video, the garden should be packed with flowers and colour, so be sure to subscribe and stay updated to watch this tiny tropical garden grow. Now if you've got any questions, ideas or tips, then comment below and let's have a chat. Cheers for watching.